Well, Cindy, thank you so much again. What's on your mind today?
I was looking forward to this because I have a lot of things in my mind, but as I talk it over with you, I think I can find a goal I want to read. I kind of have an image or an idea, but just wanted to give you a short history or background information is I joined GIA last June, so about a year ago, and it's been a phenomenal journey for me. And I realized in hindsight that I've been doing a lot of inner work ever since I started really being a coach. But then the interesting thing was the around the end of last year, I went into severe depression. I believe that was a part of the journey. I went into severe depression. I looked okay in the outside, inside I was a mess. And then that continued till about like February. And I saw a couple therapists. The therapists couldn't help me. It got worse. I saw a psychiatrist. She told me to get hospitalized. I didn't. But the interesting thing is, one of my best friends, she kept telling me, she was pulling oracle cards for me, and she kept telling me, "You're the light, you're the light." And the oracle cards that she pulled was saying that I was the light. And I thought, okay, coincidence, whatever. I wasn't accepting it, but something happened inside me around February, and I started um, saying words of affirmations to myself. And then the something really magical happened is once I started saying words of affirmation to myself and accepting and believing that those oracle cards were true, things that my best friends were telling me about was true. Um, it was it was like polar opposites, and things started happening. I felt much better about myself. I felt really motivated and inspired to do things. And the way I was able to come and interact with my clients, I felt like was much more genuine. And I tried the VIA test again, and my VIA test uh, throughout my I've done it for like 3 times. It's always my top strength came always gratitude, zest, ironically zest, enthusiasm, so on and so forth. But topic of love and being loved never came close. But then this time, in on April 18th, about a month ago, when I did the test I haven't done it for like 3, 4 months. I thought I'm feeling really different now, so I want to do it again. I tried, and the top strength that came was love, to be loved and to love, and that really it really stood out to me because I felt like I think something changed inside me, and that's why that became a strength of mine. And I was kind of pondering upon that. And ICF reciprocal coaching happened again. I enrolled again. This amazing coach from Australia, she said, "Oh, could you do my VIA test too?" So I did it again. I got love and to be loved. That was my strength. And so I guess what I wanted to talk with you about today is I want to know what that really means to me, because I realized throughout my journey that I think the void or the emptiness, whatever I was looking for subconsciously outside, I have all the answers. And like we always say in coaching, even during classes, the clients are resourceful. They have all the answers within them. I think I forgot that. I was subconscious. I wasn't looking for something or someone to give me a purpose in life, but I think I kind of forgot that, and I was searching subconsciously elsewhere. And I feel like once I started, like appreciating myself, accepting myself, and really believing and seeing good things about myself, I was able to find my answers. So I really want to explore deeper of, like, I do understand the concept of love, I think, but what that really means to me, to love and to be loved. because I want to bring that to my coaching practice with intentions. And also, if this is feasible, but like this, I think the whole thing that started was that somebody told me I was the light. And oh, another thing is once I started embracing that for like 2 weeks in a row during coaching sessions, random coaches or clients would just tell me, "You bring so much light to this, and it makes me feel good." And that really made me happy because it wasn't just my friends or friend that was telling me that, but there were other clients that didn't really know about me that said the same thing. So that made me even believe that even more. So I'm wondering if there's a connection between the concept of light, love, and being loved, and kind of want to explore the topic a little bit because, again, I believe all the answers are within me. And I thought if I can explore that in a deeper level, I can bring that to with any relationship I am with the ones I'm with, my intimate family members, my friends, and of course the clients or people that I will be working with or I am working with. So yeah, that was a long introduction, but that's what's on my mind right now.
Well, thank you so much for sharing all of this, Cindy. I was listening and I was contemplating what you shared with me. And something interesting kind of came across, which is you are already light and love according to people who are around you and have interacted with you and they brought it to your attention. And so you're already doing it. And yet what I'm getting is that by identifying, putting in words the meanings of light and love, something else that you're expecting to happen. And I'm wondering what that might be.
Interesting. Thank you for that. The first word that comes to mind is believing. And now, as I said that word, another word came to mind is acceptance. So, okay, now I'm thinking maybe the idea of me wanting to explore deeper, there's a slight, I'm not accepting it entirely. Therefore, I feel the need to explore a little bit more so I can prove to myself that I can accept this. It's kind of what comes to mind right now. A different perspective.
So the main benefit of exploring it will be acceptance. Is it it?
Yeah. And it's so strange because I was journaling and I specifically wrote love, light, and then the third was acceptance. And it was like a couple of days ago, I was scribbling everything. What are the connections here? And now when you rephrase it like that to me, I'm thinking maybe I feel like I need proof to myself or prove it to myself that something tangible, something visual that I can then prove saying, okay, because you have this and this, you are love, you are loved, and you are a light. Maybe it's that simple. Is what I'm finding right now.
Hmm. Well, I know as you're saying it out loud, what is your reflection?
Um, I always tell or encourage, well, sorry, I also encourage people to be kind to themselves, believe in themselves, that I believe in them. But then it's sure hard to do that to yourself. That's the first thought that came to mind. And then another thought that came into mind was, I sure overcomplicate things. Because maybe it's just that simple, is that you just need to, or like the way I was able to, once I started accepting the fact that, yeah, I'm gonna believe that I am the light, then it's like the gates just opened and I was able to embrace that more. And now, with that, when I started living that, or owning that concept, that's saying I am the light, then the VIA strength test just changed. I mean, all the other strengths are great, but like the fact that for me to love and to love, it never came close. So it was very strange to me. Like always, gratitude came up, curiosity came up, but love was not even in the top 10. So when that came up, it really stood out to me. And that's why I think the concept of light really stuck to me. So to answer your question, what comes to mind is maybe it's the idea of believing in yourself, or telling yourself good things, feeding yourself quality food and thought. That's what comes to mind.
Mhm. I always appreciate how deeply you think and feel. And so what needs to happen today for you?
My goal is changing. I thought I needed to understand how that's going to look like for me. I think what needs to happen is for me to just, maybe it's just as simple as me owning it. And by owning it, meaning that it's not about the action. It's about me. I don't know. I'm trying to find the right words. It's like, yes, it is. I'm being kind to people. I'm being empathetic. That's the action. That is kindness. That is the light. Maybe that's love. But then it's like clothing yourself with that concept. And then now the word presence came to mind. I think by me being present, really present and grounded, being in tune with myself, I think that's the way I'll be able to embrace it. So what I should have today, instead of having a bullet list of what love and light look like for me, or what it means to me, it's the mindset of being present, being grounded, being conscious and in tune with myself. And maybe a reminder, or a mantra that always brings me back to my center, to myself, is what I would want to walk away with.
Okay, well, thank you so much.
Interesting.
So what I'm getting is that owning who you are will make you more conscious about doing certain things and doing them in sync with who you are. And
Yeah.
so starting this journey together towards that discovery and how to own that part of you or parts of you. How would you like to start?
That is interesting. I never thought it that way, like owning yourself. A thought that came to mind is not allowing my emotions or my thoughts to control me, because those things can be unpredictable. I think owning would be guarding who I am, because I am the light and love. And then say annoyances, irritations, anger, depressions, trauma, all these things, challenges, unexpected occurrences can happen any time of the day, every day to all of us. But for me, if I can own it by guarding it, by being a good guardian of my heart, or my, I don't know, it's not even a heart, guarding who I am, myself, my being. I think that's the way I can own it. And then by guarding it, I mean knowing, not even believing, knowing that I am this light and love. And by owning it, I can nurture it. And then I feel like the better I guard it, the more healthier it gets. And in time, it becomes like unconscious competence, where it's a part of me, a daily practice that doesn't require nearly as much effort. It could be done effortlessly. It's what came to mind when I heard you say owning.
And if you were to imagine yourself in that space of owning it, in that space of being fully who you are, in light and love and acceptance, what would that feel like?
Peace. Peace and, oh, interesting. Peace and light, tranquility. Oh, it's really interesting. The visual that came up to me is sometimes like the index finger and, thumbs. I'm under high stress, trying to calm myself down and anchoring myself. I've been doing that. I haven't done that recently, but I've done that a lot when people say offensive things and I get anxiety, and I'll do this, trying to anchor myself and calm myself down, and I'll try to imagine something. But right now, when you said that, I saw a similar visual, light, really quiet, like I could almost hear the silence. But then it was more transparent. So I think that visual would help, because I'm a very, very visual person. Interesting. Not that it would help. I can already feel it as I'm saying it. And then I know that's how I should feel, if possible, at all times, really. It's, yeah, what came to mind.
Thanks. And when you say that you feel it, where in your body do you feel all those wonderful feelings?
In my heart, chest, but also a little bit of goosebumps on my arms and my back, a little bit. because it feels so right, or so like nothing can harm me or nothing can get to me. They might come and rub, but because it's guarded, my being is guarded so well. Not even guarded. Interesting. I don't even feel the resistance. It's so immune to it that nothing would fade. It doesn't fade me anymore, that kind of a feeling. Like guarding feels like I'm really embracing and trying to resist it, but I don't even feel it. Okay, so now another word that comes to mind, this flow.
Mm.
Flow and ease comes to mind. That's the feeling I have right now, my entire body.
I appreciate goosebumps as a verification of the truth of the real thing. And so now that you're knowing where those feelings live in your body, what does it tell you?
It's telling me again that it's been always here. It's been always in me, a part of me, but I never saw it, or I never gave it a chance to, what's the word? I never gave room for it. And it's really funny. It's like me moving away all the obstacles so that they or it can come up and start doing what they were meant to do. Yeah.
And where is that, excuse me, where is that room that it needs?
Mm. Where is that room? I feel it with my entire body, but then my heart's thumping really fast. It's interesting. It's like watching myself from a different place. Like I'm a third person watching it. And that gives me a good feeling because I feel like if I can detach, then I can nurture it better versus being in it and not really being able to see it. So maybe that's a good notion or a mindset to have, is to always visualize myself detached from my body. You mentioned once, I think, when one of the students always got nervous before a coaching session, and you said to imagine yourself sitting on a chair, like visualize yourself going out of the person and coming back. I think it's the same idea where I detach myself from my body and then make sure that there's no obstacles, or there's no just all the weeds and garbage that's disrupting or interacting with my thoughts, moving away yeah moving away all the dead leaves so that the sprout can come up. But those are the images just going past through my mind right now.
I so appreciate every single word. And so when you're observing it, when you're an observer, how do you appreciate the light and the love and the very appreciation that this person, Cindy, that you're observing, is living in the present moment?
Mm. would I appreciate? Okay. Um, Sometimes when you ask me that and when I reflected, I know there's a hesitation sometimes when I say words of affirmation to myself. Sometimes I feel like, nah, you're not that good, or that sounds kind of cheesy. But maybe that's where a little bit of hindrance is coming from. But when I say detach and then appreciating it, like I'm a third person, like a watcher, a guardian, looking at myself, I can say words of affirmation to myself, to the Cindy I'm watching. And then I feel so much love for that. And I can appreciate it. It's really interesting. It's me, but then it's also not me because I'm the guardian. I'm watching over her and I'm nurturing it. And only I can do it because I have all the answers. And if I don't do it, nobody can. I mean, yes, my friends and the people I trust can help me, but then at the end of the day, I have to be the one responsible to nurture it. Otherwise, I can't really get to the root of it. And whether I kill it or I nurture it, it's going to really depend on what the way um, I water it and take care of it. So, but from that perspective, um, saying words of affirmation and really loving it and taking care of it, giving it light, it comes in very naturally without all that cheesiness or that agenda, the the uh, prejudice or the yeah, all these other unnecessary thoughts coming in. Seems very natural right now.
I so appreciate it. And so it sounds as if this observer um, is giving Cindy light, love, and appreciation, while Cindy, that is being observed, is giving light, love, and appreciation to people that she interacts with. So there's this duality of giving and receiving and constant flow. That's what I'm picking
Yeah.
up.
Oh, I love that.
And I'm actually wondering, are we going in the right direction for you?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And you know what? Another word that came to not like mind right now is pulse of life. At the end of the day, that's what I want my pulse of life to be. So when if I nurture it right, the idea that you just brought in, that I can do that to myself, and then I in turn share that with others. It's a flow. It's a flow, and it's life that I want to live. And then as you saying that, I just felt this pulse in me, and it felt really good.
I'm wondering, since I know that you're very visual and there are a lot of images are coming up, and you at the beginning of our session, you said that you also would like to leave with a mantra to remind yourself. And so when you say mantra, what do you mean exactly?
I thought I needed a quote or a phrase to remind myself to, that I'm light, I'm loved, I'm worthy of it, or, something around that line. But
Mhm.
right now, talking it out loud and reflecting on it even deeper. I wonder what that would mean, mantra. feel like I'm in this momentum right now. And instead of sticking to a mantra, maybe what I need to do is to think of a way to remind myself of what I'm feeling right now. I think more than a mantra, a visual of me watering, nurturing this my being. Somehow I'm imagining a plant, but and knowing that really it really depends how this plant is gonna grow and impact the people that's gonna interact with this plant really depends on the way, or it can go any direction, just depending on how the watcher, the guardian, or the gardener is going to take care of the plant. And that gives me a sense of immense responsibility, and also motivation, and also it almost feels sacred. So I shouldn't take myself for granted, obviously, the life I have, but also I shouldn't waste it. Like, I shouldn't play around with ideas like, oh, you're not that, or oh, you shouldn't, you're not worthy of XYZ. But I should really love and take care of myself, because I don't know, just felt this right now, I just felt this immense amount of responsibility, not in a negative, demanding way, but in a sacred way. And I never had this feeling before. I think it's very sacred, and I have responsibility for myself, and all of a sudden I have this deep love for this plant that I can nurture, and also kind of excited, wondering how this tree is, or this plant is going to, how is it going to grow. And then another thought that just came in as I was saying this was, and then it's the process I want to enjoy. Not one day I'm going to impact others and one day I'm going to become really loving and become the light, but it's the process. So every moment counts. It's not one day I'm going to become XYZ, but what are you doing today? What are you doing right now? I think that's the mindset I want to walk away with then, or mantra, if you will, because it's the process. It's not the means to an end. It's how I'm living today, what I'm feeding myself today.
Great. I really appreciate how hard you're working and coming up with images and being able to analyze. And there's an observer and there's Cindy. And so I'm wondering, well, like, I just want to acknowledge all of your insights that you've had so far. And I'm wondering, what's next for this session for us?
I want to journal, that's for sure. That's all these things that coming up to me, but and I would like to continue exploring this. For now, I feel like so I realized some things in me, is that the fact that I wanted to explore deeper, quote unquote, what it means to me, came from a place of me. There's a little bit of hindrance, a disbelief. So I'm really happy through this session, I was able to eliminate that. That's one. And then the other thing is to avoid that kind of mindset, me completely detaching from myself and seeing myself as a watcher or as a guardian, and nurturing myself. That visual, I think, really helped me, first of all, see the immense amount of responsibility of how I'm going to nurture myself, my inner being, and also how that can be a pulse of life to myself and maybe not maybe I believe it was shared with the people I interact with, my friends, family, and clients. That gave me a lot of motivation, excitement, also sense of sacredness. And the third thing is that it happens. It's gonna begin right now, not one day when I become so and so, but it starts from now. So the idea, that idea of the process, I feel like it's gonna help me stay focused, conscious, and I can act with more intention. So for this session, I feel like I've reached more than I thought I would. And I appreciate that a lot. I was able to go much deeper area that I didn't think I would be even stepping into. So, yeah.
Right. Thank you so much. Well, you said something. You said, I'm going to start now. It starts now. And yet I'd like to push back that it's been happening. It had started already. What are your
Yeah.
thoughts? What are your thoughts?
I guess so. Okay, that's interesting. I guess now that you put it that way, this is the momentum, isn't it? Because I've been living it that way, so I came this far. So now I'm really excited. If I continue, where would I be in 2 weeks? Where would I be in a month? And that's very, very exciting. That's one thing great about, I guess, coaching and being coached and doing this reflective practice, introspection, because this is a privilege. And I would never. So there's almost at least every other day, I think about we all go through trauma and depression and anxiety and stuff, but I know some things needed to happen for me to get here. But now that you put it that way, if I continue this, being in the moment and being in the process, living the process, then what would bring me in 1 month time? And while it feels a lot of work, it might feel like a lot of self-discipline and stuff. It really isn't. It's the more I live it, the more liberating it gets and richer it gets. And so, yeah, thank you for that. That was a good reminder. And uh, also, yeah, it's very heartwarming, encouraging, and also motivating to continue what I've been doing until now.
I appreciate this. And so, Cindy, you mentioned journaling, and I'm wondering, what, if anything, else might you want to do based on the insights that you've gathered today?
Um, journaling, sharing it with my friends. I have like two, 3 friends that I text random things to, my insights, thoughts of the day. And then from their reaction, it initiates more thoughts. So I would want to do that. And yeah, and do some more mindful. Yeah, I'm thinking today I want to just take out more time today and then just try to I don't know, maybe just really ponder upon this. And of course, I have the privilege of getting coached quite often. So I will continue doing that and exploring this with some other coaches as well.
So, what, if anything, would you like to add to whatever you learned about yourself today?
I can never blame my surroundings for the limitations I have. I can be my biggest hindrance. But at the same time, if I'm aware of those hindrances, I can be my best cheerleader. So, and supporter. Or so whenever I feel the limitation or whenever I feel disbelief, I have to really, really look back at myself, because it's not the comments I hear from the ones around me or the way I was raised, my experiences, my past trauma, all these things are whatever. It's really about the way what I tell myself and what I believe. So I think I'm going to have a conversation with myself. It's what I'm taking away. That I could be my biggest hindrance and not anything else or anyone else.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Well, I mean, would it be useful to talk about self-accountability, resources, support, any of that stuff?
Not for now.
Mhm.
I think I have a lot of support from you, from my friends, from my coach peers. So every time I talk about it, I learn more about myself. So for today, I feel like I'm in a really, really good place. Thank you.
I really appreciate you in so many different ways. All of your strengths, and even the fact that you keep taking VIA over and over again to just find some new insight about yourself. It's just so remarkable how you're a seeker. Your soul is seeking more and more wisdom, more and more light, and you always share it with others, and I appreciate it deeply. And you
so
shared
much.
yourself with everyone today at this meeting, and that's just lovely and wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.